Met, or Metropolitan Museum of Art, is located in New York City on America's East Coast. It is located on the Upper West Side of Manhattan and is actually located within Central Park. To get to the Met Museum, what you must do is take the 4 or 5 train to 86th Street and you walk about 2 or 3 blocks. You can also walk here if your hotel is nearby, or take a cab. I highly recommend not driving. It is a busy area and parking can be limited. However, if you come on a Sunday or Saturday morning, sometimes you can find parking spots, and free ones at that, on the side streets on the Upper West Side.
Hey everyone, so where we are today is the Met, the world famous Metropolitan Museum of Art. That's what the Met stands for. Now, the museum was built in 1870, and it was built as a kind of a source to provide New Yorkers and visitors with just access to some of the world's greatest artifacts, paintings, period pieces, and just scholarly advancement of knowledge, right? So it moved to the current building, which is right behind me, in 1880. The building is located on New York's famous Museum Mile, which is along 5th Avenue in Manhattan's Upper West Side. So now the museum is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day, except Wednesday. So don't come on Wednesday, it's closed. So, build your plans around that. Another thing to note is you want to get here early because the lines do build, especially on weekends. So if you're coming on like a Saturday or Sunday, you could wait a very long time. So, make sure you try to get here early, because if you get here at 10 a.m., you could just kind of walk in because no one's in it yet. It's not as crowded yet, and you kind of get a full access to all of the exhibits right away. Now, the museum is the largest art museum in the United States and one of the largest and greatest in the world. So you're going to see things in here that are amazing. I mean, you'll see Roman art and artifacts. You'll see American paintings. You'll see stuff from the Byzantine Empire. You'll see stuff from ancient Greece. You'll see ancient Egypt. I mean, it really has an effect that is so amazing because you get to see so much of the world in one spot. So we're gonna head in now. If you take a look here, the lines are already starting to build. The tickets are a little pricey. They're about $25, $27 per ticket for an adult. If you live in New York State, it is pay what you wish. So you can pay as little as a quarter, or nothing, or $5, or $10, or $20, or whatever you want. So we're gonna head in now. How we're gonna do this is the museum is huge. There are 2 million art pieces in this museum. So I'm obviously not gonna explain everything. What I recommend you do when you come here is get an audio guide or just read it. I mean, it's a very well-signed museum, right? So each piece of art or artifact has something explaining, has a sign next to it explaining what everything is, right? So do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of explain the museum, how to navigate it. It is huge. You can spend the entire day here, right? So I'm gonna kind of explain how you get around the museum, what things are, and I'm gonna just show you some really cool images of it. So when you come here for your tour, you'll kind of have an idea of what you want to see. Okay, guys? Where we are now is called the Great Hall. So this is basically the center. This is when you get in the museum. So this is where you get your ticket, and this is where you check your coat. You go through a line to get your ticket once you enter, right? So if you, like I said, if you're from New York, it's pay as you wish. Otherwise, you pay for a ticket. And then I would recommend, if you come in the wintertime, we're here in the dead of winter, to check your coat. Because, you're going to be moving around the whole museum. It's very large. You don't want to be lugging around a coat or backpack all day. So it adds a little bit to your wait time before you get in the museum, an extra 5 to 10 minutes, but it's well worth it because you don't have to carry all that stuff. And you can peruse the museum just much more freely without all that stuff on you. So I recommend doing the coat check. I just did it. It took 5 minutes. Okay? let's head in. One thing to note is when you get here, it's very important to get one of these, okay? So this map will help you navigate your way through this whole place. It's a very large place. Like I said, it's the largest art museum in the United States and one of the largest art museums in the world. So you really need a map to kind of understand your bearings, understand where things are and what you're interested in, right? So you may be interested in Roman art and artifacts, but you may not be interested in medieval or modern, right? So if you don't have a map, you're just kind of going to be walking aimlessly through the museum. You want to pick up one of these maps to identify where everything is so that you can navigate and so you can see everything. So make sure you pick up a map when you get here. Finish the Greek and Roman art and artifacts section. So as you can see, they really were interested in statues, the human figure, an idealized human figure. So what's so interesting about all these different sections in the Met is that you can see what the culture at the specific point in time in history valued in their world. So you could peruse through here. They have so many statues, so many different mosaics. It really is an excellent collection of ancient Greek and Roman art. So let's move on to the next section. Okay guys, so where we are now is the medieval section. So you'll see medieval sculpture, art, paintings, artifacts. This is a very interesting section. It's a very good collection. It's all medieval stuff up until the Renaissance, from the early Dark Ages all the way up to the Renaissance and the beginning of the modern era. You can see there's also a Christmas tree here because we are here right after Christmas. If you are very interested in medieval art and artifacts, check out the Cloisters Museum, which is a museum further uptown that's dedicated entirely to just medieval stuff. We have a video on that, check that out too. So this is a large collection, but if you want just medieval stuff, check out the Cloisters uptown, okay? Let's start. Okay, so where we are now, see this guy? We are in the suit and armor section. So this is actually one of the best suit and armor collections I've ever seen in any museum in the world. There is a bunch of really cool military wear from medieval times up to the Renaissance and even the early Dark Ages. So take a look at this. the American wing. Now, this wing is dedicated to artists throughout the United States, from early Native Americans to colonial times to Victorian times up until the present. So here you're going to see local stuff to the United States, right? So let's take a look at this. Okay guys, so where we're heading next is we have left the colonial and Victorian American wing, right? So we're about to leave here and we're about to go into the ancient Egyptian section. So this is where the Temple of Dendur is. The Temple of Dendur is a fully excavated temple, right? That's here at the Met, and it is one of the biggest attractions here at the Met. So let's take a look there. Just leaving the Egyptian section. Where we're going to head to next is the European painting section. So this basically has paintings from all the way from the year 1200 to 1800. So it spans from the Middle Ages to the Victorian time. So there's a lot of really interesting and famous paintings in this section. Let's head over. We actually just left the European painting section and we switched over back to the American wing, but we're on the second floor now. So it kind of has two floors. So we're on the second floor. And the main reason we're here is because we're seeing the famous George Washington crossing the Delaware. So stay tuned for that. Okay guys, so where we are now is the Asian section. So this section is entirely dedicated to Asian art, Asian paintings, Asian clothing, and it goes from East Asia, so China and Japan, all the way to Western Asia. So you're gonna get a mix in such a large area. You're gonna see a big diversity of different kinds of pieces. guys, as you can see, we are here on the second floor, right over the balcony, and we have just left the Asian section, right? So where we're gonna go now is to the ancient Near East, Middle Eastern, Turkish, Central Asia, Iranian, Persian section, right? So this has a lot of interesting Islamic art and artifacts and a bunch of different tapestries, clothing. It's cool to see, and you really feel like you're kind of in the Middle East. Okay guys, so where we are now is the modern and contemporary section. So this is mostly paintings, but there are some really famous ones in here. So take a look at these. So where we are now is called the Reitzman Galleries, and these galleries basically are an image into post-Renaissance France up to the modern period. So if you want to feel like you're in Versailles and feel like you're French royalty, this is the section to go in. So you see a lot of really cool rooms, and you kind of feel like Napoleon in here. So it's a really cool thing to see. They have a lot of very real and well-preserved French furniture in here. So take a look at this. There you have it, guys. That's the Met, or the Metropolitan Museum of Art, here in New York City. We didn't see everything, but we did see quite a lot. I'd say we saw probably 80% of the museum. Of course, we didn't go and read everything and kind of understand everything in a very granular level. If you want to do that, you have to come here, read everything, or get the audio guides. Like I said, it is a huge museum. You could spend all day here, and it is one of the most wonderful to see things in your lifetime. I mean, really in the world. So I highly recommend coming here. We took a tour together. You know, we went through time, we went through different cultures, different places, and you really can travel and see everything right here at the Met Museum. So I definitely recommend taking a look at it when you're here in New York City. It's kind of one of the must-tos that you have to do. Listen guys, if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe, share, like this video, leave me your comments below. You know, we have a community. Let me know your tips on navigating the Met. Until next time guys, take care. Bye.